The A Show.
Where smart is the new sexy.
And now, April Hunter. Yeet!
Buddy, konnichiwa, salud, hola. Welcome to the A Show, where we are the moderate voice of reason and we try to debunk theories and bring you the news that the mainstream media will not tell you. And we do it all with a little bit of humor and lots of pec flexing. So my name is April Hunter, and across from me is the gorgeous Big Ray Hernandez. Hello there, Ray.
I am gorgeous. I'm very
Yes,
gorgeous.
you are. You're beautiful. You're a beautiful human being.
Inside.
We welcome everybody joining us tonight. Hello, Alex and Allie, Bigwig, Chuck, Fred. Oh, it's nice. Fred's asking, has it really been 2 years since we started? Actually, I think it's been 3?
2.
2? No,
This is
I
2
thought we
years.
did our 2-year last year.
I don't know.
Was
I don't
it?
remember now. No, it has to be only 2 years because you were doing this with Colin last year. I mean, the year before.
No, I think we started in 2000.
22?
No.
Yeah, we started the end of 22. I don't know.
No.
Can you guys
I
tell
think
us?
we started, okay, who knows? No, I think we've been doing this longer than 2 years. I'm pretty sure because I've been through 3 co-hosts now. Because it was Colin. Well, actually, sorry, it was Aaron, Colin,
Right.
Ben, you.
Right.
So yeah, Eva says 3 years. This will be our 3rd year in February.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So am I the longest tenured? Yeah, right?
You are. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's right.
Aaron had a year. Aaron, he quit at exactly 1 year and went to Fox.
Fucking
But
loser.
I know, right? So
Not Aaron. I'm just saying,
I
Fucking
didn't
losers.
mean that either. Yeah, that's our 3rd year, considering that most podcasts don't ever make it past like 19 episodes. 3 years, people. That is thanks to you people too. And there's a lot of you who have been here since day one. So thank you for being with us. Because I know we've been all over the place. We started like Tuesday afternoons, and we're Tuesday night, and then Wednesday afternoons, Wednesday night, and y'all kept riding that wave with us. So thank you. Thank you. You're awesome.
Mille grazie.
Thank you.
Mille
Molto grazie. Yes, thank you. So welcome. I see Red Sunny and Ben Rob and Eva and Lori. Hello. Who else? Bigwig, Speedway, Paul. What's up? It's the first A Show with the hot ginger, Mr. Yeet. Welcome to your first. We love to take virginity here. Who else? Oh, hi, Rum. What's up? Winona. See, Winona's one of our diehards.
Yeah,
So is
old
Allie.
school.
So is
Old
Eva.
school,
Yep. Chuck. Yep. And
So-
Fred. Got a lot of them.
So apparently, again, sometimes not that most of the people are here on Twitch and they're on YouTube, but for some reason, I don't know, Rumble gives us a pain in the ass sometimes. So it's not live on Rumble, but I'll put up the replay there. So
Okay.
in case you guys rather watch it on Rumble, whoever's watching the replay. So I got a new tooth.
Looks
I don't know if
beautiful.
it's a beautiful tooth. It's got
So you're
that
getting a new
pretty-
waistline now. You're getting new teeth.
I'm trying to get
like it-
trying to get more beautiful as I get older.
Yeah. Yep. You're
Okay.
aging like fine wine, Ray.
You think so?
Yeah. So for those of you who are unaware, Ray's doctor basically told him he was going to die if he didn't lose weight, and he has lost a lot of weight by
I have
changing
like
his diet and starting yoga and walking more.
I want you to watch maybe the first couple of episodes or even last year's episodes and compare my fat face to now. It's a big difference. I didn't realize.
They can
how
see
much.
you on TikTok too. What's your TikTok, right? They can do your comparison on there.
Oh yeah, you
See
could do that.
both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Ray Hernandez on all social media.
Yeah. And Eva says she's got peeps on Rumble watching. I guess we're not live tonight on Rumble.
No, we're not live. I don't know why.
Oh,
Let me see
well,
what I can do on my end.
okay.
Stand by.
And if you guys are watching us tonight, and hello, Chris Cameo, will you share us, please? Feel free to share us and tweet us out. It really, really helps. We love you for it. And when you share us and like us and do all that good stuff, it helps us get more high-profile guests to please you and bring you more fun and cooler stuff. So when we look more popular, people want to come on the show. So it genuinely helps us. So tonight we have a lot of topics to talk about. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. It's kind of a hodgepodge. A lot of what's going on in current events. We have a lot of WTF topics. It's the only way to describe that. We have a very strange event that happened here in Florida, which slowly caught on like a fire. And then also, because it's a New Year's and a lot of people are doing resolutions, we have an idea to audit yourself on things to do if you feel stuck that might be able to help you a little bit. So where would you like to start,
Well,
Raymond?
wherever you want to start right now, because what I'm gonna try to do is while we're doing this shit here,
Hmm.
I'm gonna try to fix this real quick
Okay.
because I want to see if I can go live on Rumble. Where did you want to start? I can try to do two things at one time.
That's all right. And welcome, Big Nick. Hello to low. Well, one of the things I thought was interesting this week, and thanks to everybody who was sending me, you guys send me some interesting stories. I really appreciate it because I'm not able to catch up on everything. The last 10 days, I've had two different family members in emergency rooms and in the hospital for a while. And it's been extraordinarily tough. So if you've noticed, I've been slower on social media and site updates. That's why.
Mhm.
So thank you for always feeding me stuff. I appreciate it. One of the stories somebody sent me was that people are using AI therapists.
AI
It's catching on.
therapist?
Yep. AI therapists. More and more young people are turning to AI therapists. And I thought
Uh-huh.
that was interesting. So I read the article. And my first gut instinct is, oh, this is a bad idea because what if you get a diagnosis that is not accurate? Usually with the diagnostics and statistics manual through a psychiatrist or licensed therapist,
Mhm.
psychologist, somebody who really knows what they're doing, what to look for, you have to have five or more ticked off in a certain area to be diagnosed with certain things. So, for example, we have thrown the word narcissist around like crazy to the point where it's watered down, and kind of anybody who takes selfies and posts them on Instagram is called a narcissist now, which that's not what a narcissist is. It's actually a very dangerous disorder. And it is created, it's created as a defense mechanism, usually as to how someone was raised. And
Mhm.
it's not a good coping technique, obviously. So these types of disorders, or anybody could be diagnosed with, I don't know, bipolar disorder, which is genetic. Some people still believe that you just catch bipolar disorder. You do not. It is
And it's
hereditary. It's
more of a
genetic.
cold.
Right. Exactly. So I didn't know like how much bad and misinformation was going to be passed on. So I read the article. And I felt a little better about after reading it. The AI program was created by a guy who was completing his um, psychiatry program at a very good university. And as he was going along, he was developing the app at the same time with everything that he was learning. So, and as Big Nick just said, as someone who has bipolar disorder, the being bipolar thing bothers me. Um, yes, I am also in that category, and someone said the other day that the weather is so bipolar, and it took this is a very nice person who meant very well, but it took everything I had to not say something.
Mm.
So I'm with you on that. When people just take these terms and use them indiscriminately and stupidly, it drives me nuts. So, and yes, a narcissist is usually, I don't want to say a toxic person, but yes, usually that is the situation, and often they go undiagnosed because they often don't, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to phrase this carefully because you have to these days. They often don't think anything is wrong with them.
Mm.
Everything has been done to them and it's everybody else's problem, and they are the victim. So usually if a narcissist is actually clinically diagnosed, it's because it's been court ordered, because they've done something to where they've been arrested and it's been court ordered, which is not uncommon for narcissists. So, and all mental disorders are usually on a spectrum, which we don't talk about as well. So it's not just autism, mental disorders and illnesses fall on a spectrum. So the AI therapy option, the fact that so many are on there, well, it seems like it's been put together by somebody who is somewhat qualified.
Mhm.
And it's also, I don't know if it's alarming or heartwarming, you tell me, that so many people are using it. So that means people are seeking help. So
Mhm.
that's a good thing. But that also means there are so many people who can't afford mental health care in this country or are on a wait list that they can't get it. I mean,
Sucks.
that's a problem. Additionally, I don't believe it's anonymous. So when you speak with an AI assistant, whatever you say is going to be logged in and recorded. Unlike if you speak to an actual mental health professional where you are protected by the laws, where they cannot speak about what's being said in any session. So please be aware of that. So with everything, anything you say can and will be used against you. So be careful.
That's a fact.
So there's that. And somebody said that they were saying they were sorry about being bipolar. Don't be. And here's why. I don't think I would change it if I had the option to be NT or normal, because being bipolar is a gift if you are able to acknowledge it, control it, use the medications to stabilize it.
Mhm.
My dog, sorry.
Is that Colin? He's coming over to visit you?
Hang on one second.
That's fine.
Apologies. I have a boxer mix, and if you're familiar with boxers, they like to scream. Come here. Come on.
They do.
Well,
much like Colin. He
yeah,
loves
sorry.
he's a
When he
screamer.
doesn't, he's got anxiety. So when he doesn't see me, he screams.
I do that too with my wife.
There you go. So, yeah, when you can stabilize it and control it, bipolar disorder can be an amazing gift because it gives you the ability to see the world in such color. And it gives you the bravery to go do things that you might never do if you didn't have it.
So
Um,
what you're saying is when somebody's bipolar, they see clearly, like they
not
see
always,
things.
not always, but
Explain.
they see. I think they see in more vibrantly color. They see more color than the
Mhm.
average person.
When
So,
you say color, what do you mean?
uh, what's the word I'm looking for? They see things more vibrantly. They pick up on things more intuitively. They are usually quicker witted and more intelligent because their brain goes like this, which is part of the reason why they lack patience because they're computing at a faster level.
Right.
So there's a lot if you want to look it up. Not Yeah, Eva says extremely smart. Eva has a family member who is bipolar.
Bipolar.
They're usually a lot of and they're extremely artistic. You'll almost I think never meet someone who's bipolar who is also not artistic in some or they're creative in some way, shape, or form. So it's a gift. There's a reason why they say crazy artists. The same chemicals that make us crazy are the same ones that make us creative.
Mm, okay.
Ben Robb says bipolar chicks are funner in bed by far.
And
Right? Nothing fucks like crazy.
let me tell you something, man.
Boom.
I mean, I got to be honest with you, man. Oh yes, right. Finally, I got us live on freaking on Rumble. Please forgive me for all you people that just have been waiting. There were
Yeah.
like 15 people waiting for us on Rumble, and
Mhm.
I apologize. Now one just jumped in, so thank you for joining us late on
Yeah,
Rumble.
thank you.
I apologize, guys. It was a hiccup on their part, so I'm gonna blame it all on Rumble. But now, so yes, I've had one or two relationships where the person I was with, the young lady I was with, was what you would call bipolar.
Mhm.
But I gotta say, holy shit, they were a couple of cocksmiths. Is that okay to say? Is that a good word? I don't know
Yeah,
how
if
much.
it makes you happy, sure. That's a
I don't know.
wonderful thing about alternative media is we can say whatever we
I
want
mean,
for right now,
just
for the
incredible
next
lovers.
however many days we're able to say stuff.
Holy shit! Until we get
Yeah, I
fucking.
honestly think when you have bipolar disorder, you will go to those places that normal people will not go, whether that is jumping in a plane and flying off to Japan, not knowing a single word of the Japanese language, or doing some crazy sexual stuff. They
Mhm.
will go there. So um, I don't know, and it goes across the board. It's not just it's the men too. They're nuts, and you gotta
Oh
love it.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Bipolar people make the world go around and make the world a
Do
more interesting, colorful place, and we love you all.
do you ever feel a little bipolar?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Um, Considering I was diagnosed with it, I generally feel a lot bipolar,
So you
but
do. So you are bipolar.
yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I
No,
thought you knew
because
that.
no, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
why
no.
would I
Yeah,
ask?
I've been on stabilizing meds since I was,
I had no idea.
for about 12 years now, though.
Well,
They have they have been a lifesaver.
that's probably why we get along because I can go from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
Um, but I've changed. Like when I was younger, I was a lot more. How can I say it? I was just quicker to anger and physical violence.
Mm, yeah.
And I don't know if it's a thing that I don't know if it's different for. Is being bipolar different for men than women? Do you know about that? Like how the
I don't
chemical.
think so. I
No, it's
think
the
it's
same.
pretty similar across the board with the symptoms and the outcomes. And I mean, there's different types. Like I said, it's on a it's on a spectrum, and there's different
Okay.
types: bipolar 1, bipolar 2, rapid cycling. There's all different types. But yeah, meds help. Your diet helps. Exercise helps. Getting enough sleep helps.
Oh, then I'm
Believe it or
fucked.
not, eating a low gluten or a no gluten diet will also help. Seeing a therapist helps greatly. You know why seeing a therapist helps?
Why?
Because sometimes the bipolar brain, how do I put this? Bipolar brain sees things a certain way
Mm,
through a certain haze that can be very, very correct and accurate when it comes to picking up patterns and being intuitive and reading energy. But there are other times that it's so inaccurate when it comes to reading people, assuming that they're doing things or saying things or their intentions are not good. And when you see a therapist, like I think for many of us, especially people with anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder, a lot of times I say we go to worst case Ontario right away with our thoughts. Worst case
mhm.
scenario. So somebody says something or they don't text you back or whatever, and you immediately go worst case scenario. This person hates me. They're tired of me. They're bored with me. I'm
Oh my
irritating
god.
them. Right? We all do it, right? We
Ooh,
all do it.
that's me.
So you have to rein your brain in for a minute. And then I think for me and for many of us who are stabilized, your brain goes there right away, and the medications make it so you rein your brain in. You're like, okay, hang on a second. Maybe this person is just busy. Thank you, Big Nick. He says, as someone with bipolar 1 with psychotic tendencies, I appreciate you talking about this very much. I'll talk about this all the time if you want, because a lot of us are crazy. 1 in 4 of us are crazy, right?
Yeah, no
So,
shit.
and but
I am.
our brains
Fucking
go
nuts.
to this. I know. And of course, the more stressed you are, the faster it goes to this place, right? So what the meds for me do is they help me bring that fishing rod back and go,
Right.
okay, hang on. Maybe this person's just busy. Maybe they're with
Right.
their family. Maybe they're hanging out with their sister, their girlfriend, their boyfriend, whatever. Maybe they're on a trip. Maybe they're on a screen break. And it just, maybe I'm not annoying and they don't hate me. And then I'll say, okay, wait a second. Just let it go. See what happens. And if I don't hear anything back, because I myself am not good at returning texts and emails either. And I tell people all the time, if you need to get a hold of me, you have to text my phone because I don't get notifications, and then stay on me if it's important.
I will
So
attest
then,
to that because there are
yes,
there
it's
are
true.
there are hours that go between a text and me and April on
Yeah,
several occasions. So
yes,
yes, and it's
it's
not
true.
because April hates me. I think April kind of likes me. But
No,
you know who else
I
is
don't
like
hate
that?
anybody. I either like you or I don't care. There's no in between.
Well, you know who else is like that, and
Mm,
who's possibly one of my closest friends, Billy Ray Valentine.
I was gonna say, oh yeah, he'll go days.
Dude, I will text him.
Months sometimes. He just doesn't even return
I
texts.
will text him, dude, I have AIDS today, you know, and he won't reply. And
I
then like a
know.
month later, he'd be like, yo, are you okay? I just saw this
Yeah.
text. I'm like, dude, I already cured AIDS. I'm fine. It's like unbelievable,
Same
this
thing.
fucking guy.
Same thing. So
Unbelievable.
it's just, you know, I know he's in school though. Like he's getting through school, he's starting a new business. So then I'll follow up a week or two later. I'll be like, hey, what's up? You know, what's going on in free world? You know, things like that. So, you know,
No,
so
so
Ben Rob's
Bigwig,
funny. Yeah. Yeah. Try being crazy and a redhead. It's like times 10.
I like what Bigwig says here. It says, does beg the question, how many great historical figures were nuts and not diagnosed?
A lot.
Was that the reason they were great? Like, I'm sure people like Albert
Yes.
Einstein,
Oh, yes. I think
you
so.
know,
Autistic, bipolar,
absolutely,
schizophrenic, schizoaffective,
absolutely.
100%. And I honestly
Up to
think,
Kenny.
what's up, you guys? Thanks for coming in. I honestly think a lot of the great thinkers have some type of, they weren't, I don't think a lot of these people were not neurotypical because when you're, and I mean no disrespect to NT people, but when you're neurotypical, when you are normal, um,
What
you
is
know,
normal?
right, when you're normal, you're typically not gifted. Normal is the how do I put this? Normal is the universe's way of protecting people.
Yeah.
So it keeps you safe. It keeps you average. It keeps you from being hurt. It keeps you from doing stupid things, from taking risks. It makes sure you get married and have kids, and
Hmm.
you fall into line, and you don't think outside the box. That's normal, average, neurotypical. It's the batshit crazy ones that are out there. They're the ones that take the risks, and they're the ones that get the reward.
But it's also like creative people, like person like yourself,
Yeah,
myself, people
creative.
like Colin. He's nuts. You know,
Yeah,
Ben is absolutely psychotic, but we're all like very creative people, and this is our outlet. I think this helps. This helps me control a lot of my negative feelings doing stuff like this and talking
yeah,
about this stuff, and because like all this news that you and I talk about, April,
yeah,
I love doing this because instead of me just dwelling on it and not having an outlet, I'm able to discuss it with you. And then we
yeah,
have this chat here. That's why I love the
yeah.
chat. You guys that, you know, I'm sure it has the same effect on everybody here, right? In the chat as well, that we're able to openly discuss it and let it out. There you go.
Yeah.
Let it out. So,
Yeah, and you have to remember, like, you know, a lot of people are the same way. Even when they appear normal, they have normal lives. They are unique, creative thinkers as well. And if we judge somebody as smart, and hello for joining us late. Hi, 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 you guys.
hello.
If we judge, say, if we judge somebody's intelligence based on just mathematics,
Uh-huh.
and Chris is saying the stream ended. Is that true? It froze up. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Allie says back. Says it's back
There's a lot of trouble going on today. I don't know what's going on with
with
the
the
internet.
stream. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm sorry,
Okay.
guys.
Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on.
But
Let us know if you're having problems.
yeah, but are we good on just let us know if we're good. All right, Ray fixed
I
the
know we
last
got to
issue.
smack the TV at the top
All
of
right,
it.
we're good.
But yeah, if you judge people based on how smart they are regarding like just mathematics, a lot of people are going to come off as dumb. You know, if we judge people how smart people are at, you know, conjugating a sentence, a lot of people are going to come off as dumb. So smart, you know, moves around. Some people are intelligent when it comes to academics. Some people are street smart. Some people are figure out an escape room smart. You know, there's different types of smart.
Sure.
So we have to who seems someone who seems I'm reading the comments. It says something about some issues here. Are we good? Is everybody good as far as being able to hear and watch?
All right, so YouTube is good, no issues.
Okay.
What else we got? Audio, there's no video. Where's that? On Twitch?
Oh, you guys are missing it. I'm stripping naked right now. Too
Yeah,
bad you can't see it.
she's totally naked. Hold
See?
on one
I'm
second.
naked.
Big ass titties.
Yeah,
That's
she's
right.
naked.
You got no video, only audio.
Boobies.
You can listen to it.
April,
Oh,
put those away. What are you doing with those? All right,
you missed
I-
it. The video's back. Anyway, yeah, we can't and Ray stripped, yep, Ray took his shirt off. You guys missed it.
no, you don't want to see that shit. Maybe if I take my pants down, it's better.
But anyway.
Well, it's
That's
true.
right, we're
Listen,
jerks.
I All right. So I'm looking at Twitch right now. It seems like we're going well on Twitch. I'm looking at Twitter, and don't worry, if we have to take extra time today, we will. Looks like we're good on Twitter and we're good on Rumble. So
Okay, cool. So before we get to like the crazy stuff, real quick, I wanted to mention this. It's New Year's, right? We're starting to know over again. I'm actually feeling pretty good about this year. And a lot of times when you do New Year's, you do these resolutions. You say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. But
Ugh.
let's try something different. Let's do an audit for a second.
Oh.
A lot of people sometimes feel stuck, right? When you feel stuck, when you get a chance, take 3 things in your life and write them down. These are the 3 things that if you did not have to do them, or you didn't have to deal with them, or they were not in your life, they would make your life better. So for example, which 3 things that annoy the crap out of you that you feel like your life would be higher quality if you didn't have to deal with it? So say a commute to work, having to cook dinner every night, and
I don't have
I
a
don't
gold toilet. What?
know. And give me a third one that realistically people hate. You guys name something here.
Not being rich.
No, I'm talking about
Bills.
something, because if you have a solution to a problem, then you
Okay.
don't have a
How
problem.
about this? Me and my spouse don't get along. We argue too much.
You argue too much?
I mean, I don't. Me and my wife
Okay,
don't.
so you're butting heads with your spouse.
Yeah, with your spouse. Like your living environment is a toxic one.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay. So commute, right?
Mhm.
Don't feel like cooking when you get home. You've got a toxic situation with your spouse.
Right.
So then you take these things you have audited about your life, because these 3 things are making your life very, very difficult. And you sit down and you tackle those issues on how to make your life more quality.
Mhm.
So for example, when it comes to dealing with your spouse, a
Mhm.
lot of times what we're arguing about on the surface is not really what the problem is. We're fighting about things where our values and morals don't align. So for example, if you're fighting about, let's see, using too many paper towels or leaving the water running
Right.
nonstop and fighting about these little bickering bullshit things, the values and morals that aren't aligning is that one person conserves and is worried about costs and money, and the other person is viewed as wasteful and doesn't see the point in saving, and they're butting heads. So what you should do is think about getting a mediator or a therapist or even the AI therapist. I don't know. So that's one way to tackle that problem. So with the commute, you can see about switching another job, getting a work from home situation, seeing if you can work from home part-time. And everybody's saying they're having problems here. So I'm streaming live. I'm not seeing anything.
That's weird because I literally have the Twitch stream up right here on my phone,
Okay.
and there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
Oh, you know what?
Um,
It could be the fact that you need to stop stealing your Wi-Fi from your neighbor.
is that it? Or them?
Possibly, maybe
I
them.
don't know. I pay for my Wi-Fi.
So do I, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would love to steal from my neighbor. I don't like my neighbors that much.
Yeah, I don't know
I
how.
didn't say that. I love my neighbors. What?
What? Your neighbors?
I
Don't
love
you
my neighbors.
don't you wish you had neighbors like Mr. Rogers?
I had such great neighbors, and you know what happened? Tampa Bay got so expensive, they moved.
Mr.
Like
Rogers
all my
moved?
neighbors moved because they were it's like New York and LA prices down here now.
Are you serious?
So, oh yeah, it is very expensive in Florida now. Chris Cameo, thank you. He said he would let me steal his Wi-Fi. Thank you.
Huh.
I promise I wouldn't look up anything too terrible unless I'm writing and researching. If I'm writing like a mystery novel and researching like how do I,
That's us on Twitch. We're going live.
okay, so we're
We're
good.
good. It
Yeah,
seems like
sometimes I
it.
look up some dodgy stuff. You have to as a writer.
I don't know.
Like, what's the best way to off da 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 da? What are the poison
Uh,
because you're writing a story, you need to know these things.
Chris Cameo says, "I would gladly let you steal my
I
Wi-Fi."
know.
He's talking to me, right? Not you.
I don't know. I assumed it was me, but maybe
Oh,
it's not. I'm making it all about me right now.
I never get hit on. Shit.
But anyway, yeah, audit yourself Pick 2 or 3 things that are making your life a little bit more complicated or difficult right now that you can, if you can't eliminate, you can at least sand them down and see if that doesn't help you. So, just a suggestion on how to make 2024 a little bit easier on you. Okay, done with that.
I
Go.
got something.
You got stuff.
So you want to hear about an easier 2024?
Sure.
Well, I don't know if you guys follow sports, but this is not really a sports story. This is really a gotcha, bitch story. It's my Dave Chappelle. So, Eric Spoelstra is the head coach for the Miami Heat. You familiar with the Miami Heat basketball
Yeah.
team?
Of course.
Eric Spoelstra is he's a disciple of the great Pat Riley. And the guy is a phenomenal head coach. I mean, the guy's won multiple championships with LeBron James. He's always had a very, very good team. They're very good this year. Long story short, he was in a 7-year marriage with a dancer, not an exotic dancer, just a dancer, this young lady. And apparently, when they first met, he was making about $4 million a year. Okay, as a head coach, which is a good, solid, whatever.
You can almost afford to live in Tampa Bay.
Almost. So now
Cities.
check this out. So a lot of people believe that she was using Eric Spoelstra because she was basically a nobody, and now she has a YouTube channel and she's doing all this shit, and she basically filed for divorce after 7 years from Eric Spoelstra, right?
Mhm.
So now instead of the guy was making $8 million a year. So now that's split down the middle. She gets $4 million a year until she gets remarried again. That's how it works. Or, she could stay single forever. He would have to pay out $4 million.
Mm.
Once the divorce was finalized, and you guys can look this up. I'm looking at the article on Sportskeeda, who a good friend of mine is Bill Apter works at. So, big Uncle Bill Apter. I think it was a couple of weeks or a couple of months, 2 months after the the divorce was finalized, the Miami Heat decided to check this out. Give Coach Eric Spoelstra an 8-year contract extension worth $120 million. And she is fucking pissed. Your thoughts on that, April?
She jumped the shark a little too early, huh?
So I'm going to show you something. So Twitter went wild. I'm going to share the screen here. This is off of sportskeeda.com. We're going to see some tweets here. And we see here, got divorced before getting the bag. We have this right here. This from Sean at Miami Heat tweet. It says, was literally just thinking that, no disrespect, but I hope since being after a divorce, that's all his. So it is going to be all his because they're no longer together.
Right.
And it was a couple of weeks. We have people saying Spo is a genius in all aspects. Wow. Checkmate. How you like me now? Child support. So,
do they have children?
I don't think so. I think that was just a silly tweet.
I think that was a good political play.
Do you think so? So how do you feel?
For him.
I think so. Smart man.
For him. Because, if
she's coming back for it.
Yeah,
it just went on and on. So what do you think of this situation?
Like I said, I think it was a good political play. Honestly, women are going to hate me for this one. And I'm going to say this in a generalized term.
Okay.
And this isn't always the situation. It hasn't been the situation in my life, that's for sure. But often men are on the short end of the stick when it comes to getting divorced in this country.
You're telling me.
That hasn't been my I've gotten hammered on that end. So
I got hammered.
It does go across the board where women get it too. But I say often. So
Okay.
Our laws, unfortunately, are not justice. So in this particular situation, it seems like it was a good play. That's now his money.
Mhm.
So
Well,
now
listen,
he needs to not do that again with another dancer
well, here's the thing.
and get a prenup.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I remember I was in my late 20s, and I had a buddy. His name is Juan, and they have oh shit, I shouldn't have said his name. His name is Pedro. Anyway, well, I literally have like 8 friends named Juan, so you're gonna have to pick the one, and you don't follow him. So anyway, so long story short, Pedro, he literally walked in on his wife while the kids were home. The 3 kids were in the living room,
Mhm.
banging another dude.
Hmm.
They were married officially, right? Went to court. She gets full custody of the kids, and he pays child support. How does that fucking work? And I know this guy personally. I've known this guy since we were kids. A good, loyal father, faithful, not an asshole. Like, what the fuck? Like, how? How does that work? That's not fair.
Yeah. Well, Lori says some men who want to be free from from a spouse, I'm going to say their horrible, nagging, bitchy spouse, are willing to give up what they have to have their freedom. And she adds in, look at Stephen.
Can I use myself as an example?
Do you know why divorce is so expensive?
Why?
Because it's worth it.
Well, listen, I'm going to use my example. Me and my ex-wife did not get along. Okay. We had horrible arguments, never got physical, thank God. But it got to a point where this guy right here, I went to my union lawyer. I filed for the divorce. I gave the papers. My ex-wife makes way more than me. How come I'm the one that pays child support and she gets full custody?
I don't know. My ex hit me for a lot, and then he hit me for a portion of the house.
Damn.
That is my house that he lived here, that I paid for using my mom and grandmom's inheritance money.
Oh,
that I'm the one that redid it. And yeah, so, and then, yeah, that was a big fiasco. So, it doesn't always,
It's like
more times. Yeah, more times than not, it goes in against the men, but the women get hit with it too. I've been on that receiving end, unfortunately.
You're the first one that I know in my life.
Oh, I know a few of us that
I've never experienced. Like, I've always seen like good dudes. It's not even the assholes.
And
it's
in
usually
Florida,
the good guys.
In Florida, you don't have to be married for that to happen to you.
Excuse me?
So in Florida, you do not have to be married for that to happen to you. We have different laws here. We don't recognize common law marriage here. So if we have different laws down here, it's like another country. So you have to learn Florida laws. So we have stand your ground law. We have castle law. If someone lives in your house and even hangs up one picture, you now have to have them officially evicted. It takes 30 days. They can stay there.
What the fuck is castle? That's castle law?
Castle law. That is, your house is your castle, and you have every right to defend it.
Oh, I'm going to my cousin's house.
You can shoot somebody in your house, and it is okay.
Well, what's the one where you? Because I'm bringing a picture. My cousin lives pretty much in a mansion by himself in Florida. I'm gonna hang a picture of myself up there.
There you go. So we have different laws here. So marriage doesn't necessarily stand as hard as if you're on a mortgage with somebody. If you are on a house deed with somebody, that is one of the most binding laws you could possibly have. So that is a 30-year. Yeah. So.
Colin says, I'm hanging a picture in every house I visit in Florida. Can you imagine all these houses with Colin's face on it?
Yeah.
We don't want that. Guys.
I'll follow you around, just pull them down. Lori says she walked away from her 20-year marriage and took nothing from him because he gave his rights up because he didn't want them, and he made her pay for everything and hid his income. So it does go both ways. Yeah, that's true. I do know that.
Sucks. That's terrible.
That she dealt with that too. So I know quite a few women that have dealt with it, but I think you don't hear about it from women because we tend to be kind of embarrassed when it happens. So we don't talk about it.
Right.
But guys, there are gold digger guys, and there are guys that do this stuff to us. So yeah, it's called squatters' rights here. So it's
we have
different.
Squatters' rights here in New York too, but I don't know if it's that you just hang a picture of yourself and call it a day. Somebody hangs a picture in my apartment, I'm punching that guy in the face and throwing him out the window.
Colin says, my baby mama tried to get a restraining order. Hi, Colin. On me because we were both on the lease, and the woman in the office told her to do that, even though there was no violence. That happened to me with the person I was talking about. They came to my house, even though there was no issue. There was no domestic violence. There was nothing. All they have to do is go down and say, I fear for my life. They had me escorted from my house. I had 20 minutes to get all my stuff. I worked from home.
Shut up.
I had my pets here. and I went to school from home, I had 14 days to go to court, and I had to hire a criminal lawyer because of it.
You're
And
kidding.
then no, I'm not. And because I'm bipolar and because I'm a professional wrestler, his lawyer convinced the judge that I was dangerous. And I had to wait another 14 days to go before another judge, which it was dismissed in 5 minutes.
You gotta be fucking
But I was
kidding.
out of my house for 32 days on that exact situation here in Florida. I hope his asshole falls off.
Do you know where he lives?
Oh, I do. Yeah, Flint, Michigan. I do.
I have friends in Detroit.
Yeah. I've
I mean,
had
not
friends.
that nothing will happen
Yeah.
to the guy today, but
Mhm.
it is what it is. Wow, what a
Mm.
piece of shit.
Yeah. I don't really, I don't really have well, actually, I said I'll either like you or I don't care, one or the other. But there is one person that I reserve a special kind of animosity for that I try not to. But if something were to happen, like say, I don't know, he were to climb up a very steep flight of stairs, get dizzy, lose his way, and tumble down
Mm.
brutally and hurt everything on the way down, and then his asshole falls off, I would be okay with that.
Why his asshole? Why not his
Uh,
penis?
because it's a lot more inconvenient when people have problems with their asshole.
Is it
He
really?
already has problems with his penis.
Well, I have tons of problem with assholes like Colin, but they don't go away. Colin, why don't you jump in, you douche?
Believe it or
Thank you.
not, Bigwig, a lot of my fans were the first ones to step in when stuff happened.
That's
And
right.
I'm so grateful to them. My fans and my friends who knew what was going on back when it happened.
Mm.
See, it's a Flint, Michigan thing. It's something in the water up there. Ha ha.
Ha
Literally.
ha. That water's
Yeah,
literally
it's the
shit.
Flint people. Oh my God. So yeah.
Mm. Oh, you want the that's for Ben Rob.
Dun. Yeah, but my friends and fans who knew what was going on at the time, it was unbelievable how supportive they were. It surprised me. Because I felt like I was going through all this alone. I felt like I was so embarrassed and I was mortified and horrified. And when I finally talked about it, um, you wouldn't believe how many, it was all guys except for one girl. It was all guys that came forward and said, that's happened to me. It's happened to me. That happened to me. This has happened to me. So this kind of thing where somebody gets a restraining order to have you thrown out of your house happens all too often. So, and most of the time it happens to men. So, the fact that this guy here got an 8-year contract after getting divorced, more power to him.
Wow. Well, on that note, you want to talk some aliens?
Yeah. Yeah, we had some stuff happen down here in Florida.
So
Florida's all kinds of weird right now.
So let me just break this down and just tell the whole story really condensed, because I've done enough research to break it down to one, basically condensed story.
Mhm.
Long story short, there was a report that in the Miami Mall, that there was a fight that broke out between some teenagers, some kids, and they were using sticks.
Right.
Apparently, this is,
Right.
but people started bugging out or like questioning why with this, what's the big deal with kids fighting? They had hundreds of police cars arriving to this facility, to this mall.
Yeah. It was a
Hundreds.
hellacious response.
Helicopters, like Blackhawks and shit, like fucking sharks with lasers on their heads. I mean, it was insane, right?
Mhm.
So now, and also, I don't know if you heard about this, that section of Miami, the power for that part of the city was shut down
I heard that.
for a short part. So people now started digging, and all these videos started surfacing and taken down about what they saw there. And I'm going to play just one of them.
Okay.
But I will say this, and I'm going to just throw this out there because you're throwing up some
big ass titties.
That's right. Thank you for the bits.
Thank you for the love.
Ooh.
So long story short, this account that I'm going to play for you guys is an account that multiple people have put up, and they're saying the exact same thing. And April and I will discuss, and I want to hear from you guys what you think they saw that night in Miami.
Yeah, and you guys say what y'all think too.
All right, so here go his brother here. Here we go.
All right.
So I have to come in my basement and film this. This shit is so crazy. I'm posting this, and I want y'all to repost, save this video, post it on other platforms before it gets taken down, because I want to clear up some of this misinformation about the Bayside Mall incident that happened. So me and my girl was in town, and we were shopping at the mall, and we noticed a lot of kids there. It wasn't a real big deal at first until they got to arguing and shoving, and then like weapons got brought in, and they started fighting, running all over the mall, chaos just all over the place. So we thought we heard gunshots, but it turns out that that was actually fireworks. But either way, that caused everybody to start rushing for the doors. People was leaving stuff behind. I mean, just dragging their kids. It was just complete fucking chaos, man. Anyway, so as we running, we look back and we noticed some weird shapes taller than me. I'm 6'2", shadowy, dark, solid shapes, not human. I promise you, these is not human. I mean, it made the hair stand up on my skin. And shit, we just booked it for the doors after that, man. I can't explain what that was. I can't say that was aliens, but I can say that was not human. It was not human. And they online, I don't know if they're trying to cover this stuff up, but they saying that it was police officers and somebody, not shadowy figures. It's 2024, man. It's something going on. There's something going on, and they trying to cover it up. A lot of people saw what I saw, and like I say, it was so much chaos ensued that it was just hard to let that sink in, that we was realizing what we looking at. I mean, it's something you can never even create in your head in a dream. I'm putting this out there though, man, because I want people to know that this stuff is real. Get this out and spread this. And if you were a person that was there and you saw what I saw, please put this video out, because they trying to cover this stuff up, man. They don't want us to tell the truth. And I got a good feeling this video will be taken down. So don't listen to the media. This shit is real. And whatever it is, they do not want people to know about it. I can't even, man.
I got thoughts.
So when I so as I so this is the video of the mall here. You see that? See the police response? Like, this isn't kids fighting. Now there, I don't know if you can see up there around here, people see like a large shadow. See that large shadowy thing walking by?
No.
Oh my gosh. So right at the base, look at the middle from right to left. You see that big thing walking slowly? This thing right here.
Yes. But it doesn't, you can't really see it.
You can't really see it, but that thing is like 10 feet tall, walking in front of the damn mall.
Okay.
Okay, let me okay. Here's my thought on that. That's fine and all. Is that the best they got? That's it right there.
That's the yeah, I'll go back to it really quickly.
Okay.
That's the best they got right now.
Okay, so I'm gonna call bullshit, and here's why.
Oh shit. Okay.
And I could be wrong. Okay, let me state right off the bat that, do I believe there are aliens here and in existence? Yes, I always have. Always have. I thought it was insanely arrogant back in the day for people to believe that we are the only life form, let alone the highest and most intelligent life form. I think we're all over that by now.
Sure.
Okay, so my friend got busted in Las Vegas for taking a piss. And the cops told him 11 cameras caught him clearly taking a piss off to the side. So how do 11 cameras catch you taking a piss, but not one camera catches this thing? Okay, so hang on. Here's my thought. Every single person has a camera or video, but or the capability to take a picture or video, but there has not been one single clear picture on New Year's Day. We're on season in Florida. This is a tourist area, so there are lots of people. Not to mention the police dash cams. The police dash cams with all those cops and their body cams, they catch everything, but not one single video or picture was uploaded. A. B. Helicopters. Okay. It's common for helicopters in certain areas, again, because there's so much influx to Florida. They have a protection. They want to protect their people here because we make so much money from tourists, from holidays, from spring break. So we had 2 kids going around trying the doors on bicycles.
Okay.
They brought out helicopters for these 2 kids and chased them down all night long in my neighborhood, which is not even a ritzy neighborhood. We were all pretty impressed that they did that. A helicopter for 2 kids. So a big response in some areas is not uncommon, especially when you're on season during a holiday. All the kids are off. They're causing problems because they're bored. And yes, it actually started a riot. So there was a riot there of kids. So do I think that it's aliens?
Well, here's one of the pictures that popped up.
I think they exist. I don't think this particular situation was. I could be wrong. How do we know? How do we know that's not just some kind of testing? How do we know what that is exactly?
Could be.
Why isn't there video?
Could be some CGI. Could be
Right.
some post.
So
but
additionally, everything's blurry. Okay, everything's blurry. There's a handful of people who, incidentally, influencers who make lots of money on their accounts putting all this out. Okay. And I think the conspiracy theory movement has been infiltrated by a bunch of bullshit to discredit the movement because it's been so accurate for the past 3 years. I mean, dead accurate, to the point where they want to make these people look ridiculous and untrustworthy. So did you notice that at the same exact time the Epstein name, the flight logs and files came out? Exact same day. So what bigger of a story to detract from that than aliens and like a mall shootout in Miami with a huge police response? Do you really think that the government would do anything it takes to detract from that when almost all of their names are on this flight log?
Interesting.
What new laws took effect?
So you believe in the fact that you believe
Project
in
Bluebeam?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So check this out. So this is I'm putting this together. So this is a hologram outside of the 2023 Game Awards in Los Angeles, California. Have you seen this thing?
Oh, and by the way, Winona says something very worthwhile. It's almost like a form of gaslighting. They present just enough shitty evidence to make you start thinking for yourself, and then are quick to discredit it when you get anywhere close to the truth. Yes.
I'm going to show you this quick little footage. I'm not going to play any sound, but this is what I think is maybe a testing grounds for Project Bluebeam.
Yeah.
Now this is the Game Awards, and this
somebody
was
said, "Oh, it's a weather balloon."
check this out. Check this out.
Outside the Game Awards 20.
All right, I'm not going to put the volume up, but take a look at how crazy this looks, and people that believe that we let's say they want to perpetrate that we're being invaded by aliens. Look at this thing.
Yeah.
This is legit. Take a look. Look at this thing.
Yeah, hologram, right?
Yeah, it's a hologram, but look at this.
Right. Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
People would lose their minds, and
yeah, they have holograms. That they have credible people have said that they have taken the aircraft, the crashed aircraft, alien aircraft, and sent it to private companies like Boeing. Have recreated this aircraft, and they could use it at any time to test on us, and we'd have to believe it was aliens. So do I think there are 2 different races on this planet? Of course, human race and something else. I believe that if you're a Bible study person, that even states that there are 2 races here, and the Nephilim and the all that stuff. So do I think that this exists? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Do I think that was it? No, I think it was a distraction from Epstein.
But what I'm saying is that do you think that they may have used that type of technology to kind of fuck with people so that they can create a story to kind of veer us away?
I don't know.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't know.
You,
It's
you get what I'm saying?
possible. Did the aliens pull the door off the Alaskan Airlines? With the window
I,
out?
I wasn't there. I wasn't there, but I'm pretty sure that Captain Kirk saw an alien on the wing of an airplane.
Yeah.
Anyone know what that's about? No?
And I do think there's an active movement to start putting stuff out there that's so crazy by the accounts that brought us such accurate information that they're paying them. So thanks, Kaz. Thanks for all the great work you do
Oh,
too. We appreciate you.
I'll do this on live online. Did you see the message that Cass sent us?
I did.
Okay. So I don't know if we can stooge it off yet, but we may have a possible really, really cool guest. So
Yeah.
you gonna work that out with Kaz or
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So
That would be great.
stay tuned.
I would love to do an exchange there.
Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We do some crossovers here. It's gonna be cool. Anyway.
So yeah, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I always maintain I could be wrong. So I guess time will tell.
Speaking of Epstein.
Speaking of Epstein, it's funny. I was curious to look into his bio and like we all know the name Jeffrey Epstein now, right?
Mhm.
Just like Ghislaine Maxwell, but who is Jeffrey Epstein? So I spent some time actually looking up his bio and oh my God, this guy is actually so intelligent. And I'm going to say this in a way that don't take this wrong, but he's so intelligent. He's intelligent in the way that like Nazis, like Hitler was. Like you almost have to study that brain
Mhm.
so that it doesn't happen again. He was the ultimate scammer, basically.
Yeah.
So this guy never went to college, but went into school and started teaching mathematics and science in
Mhm.
high schools and prestigious upper, lots of money private schools without any kind of a degree. And that's how he started making a lot of his connections until, of course, he started getting in trouble for soliciting, allegedly, or not soliciting, but issues with 14 and 15-year-old girls. But still, at that point, he still wasn't getting in trouble for it. And things just kind of kept going from there. But his ability to take something, a connection, and run with it. Yeah, evil genius.
Evil
Thank you,
genius,
Winona.
yeah.
That's the evil genius. Because I think there's a lot of benefits, and we're not allowed to say that anymore. We're not allowed to say, certain people were evil geniuses, but at the end of the day, they were. And
It's also a piece of
studying
shit, but
them,
yeah.
yeah, of course, they're pieces of shit.
Yeah, it's a
But
piece of shit.
studying them and studying how they pulled one over on everybody and got to where they are and manipulated so many people and and had the ability to take them down. Like we should study that.
Well, why do you
So
think they study? Why do you think they pull in? When they're looking for what do you call those people that they do all these murders in sequence? What do you call them?
yeah, serial killers. They
Serial
bring in
killers.
serial killers to help you find a serial killer.
That's what they
But
do.
God forbid that we on any level say that. Just like they say that CIA is connected intimately with Hollywood, and they are consulting, but you can't, God forbid you insinuate or say any of these things. But at the end, I'm saying it. So
You seen that? But the reason I'm bringing, like, you seen the whole double standard bullshit that's going on with Jimmy Kimmel, right? Right now,
mhm.
with Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah,
Jimmy Kimmel, listen,
Jimmy Kimmel's a piece of crap. He
and
wished for all the unvaccinated to die. We all saw it.
he did,
He
and he
never
really
once
did.
apologized.
Never once apologized. And then, he goes on, like, he's gone on and on about, and for those who don't know who Aaron Rodgers is basically a Hall of Fame quarterback for the Green
Who
Bay
was one of the
Packers.
very first people to stand up and say, I don't trust this thing with the jab. I don't trust it. I'm not getting it. And man, did he take some abuse. He took so much abuse for it.
He did.
I mean,
And,
he took death threats. He was called selfish, grandma killer, all this stuff.
yeah.
And he ended up being right, as a lot of his teammates have dropped dead from heart attacks and issues, as I have seen that happen in my own line of work with my my
Friends, yeah,
people and
absolutely.
the athletes all around me, as well as friends. I mean, I know upwards of 30 something people now that are dead from pulmonary embolisms, heart attacks, myocarditis, all kinds of issues that nobody claims exists. It doesn't happen. It's not happening. We shouldn't study it. Why aren't they doing studies
But
on jabbed versus unjabbed at this point? We have
the
to.
the double standard really pisses me off, and this is why
Yeah.
it pisses me off because he can say all of this shit about Aaron Rodgers, right?
Right.
But then Aaron Rodgers kind of alludes to the fact that maybe perhaps Jimmy Kimmel on a show where he was joking around with
It's a
Pat,
podcast.
Pat
Yeah.
McAfee, who's a WWE wrestler and also former NFL kicker and host and all this other stuff. He does a podcast. And he basically alludes to the fact that, oh, well, that Epstein list is coming. I'm sure Jimmy Kimmel's worried about it, but he wasn't saying that Jimmy Kimmel is on the list. He was saying that because Jimmy Kimmel is associated allegedly with many, many, many people. So as soon as he said that, what does Jimmy Kimmel do?
Freaks out like a baby.
I'm calling my
Call my
lawyers.
lawyer.
All this other bullshit. That's not right. It's not.
Yeah.
fair.
Well, if you're a comedian, you just take that, roll it into a joke, and say something back if you want, or you ignore it.
But that's the thing. Like comedy has become so like, ugh, it's not the
Yeah.
same as what it was. Like you can't say. That's why between you and me and us here in the chat, I fucking love Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle
Yeah.
doesn't give a
Oh,
fuck.
Ricky Gervais. Totally worth watching his new one. He
I just saw it. I
pulls
enjoyed
no
it.
punches.
Doesn't
So
care.
good. So
Doesn't
good.
care.
So
The Cat Williams, Ben Rob promises he's bringing Cat Williams on our show. If you do that, brother, then April, you're gonna send him some big titty pics and something like that.
I would be thrilled to death if you bring him on. I know
And by the
he's
way,
one of
Ben Rob got the Twilight Zone gimmick with Captain Kirk seeing an alien on the wing of an airplane. I don't know if you might have missed that one, but
yeah.
I just find that to be so incredulous, like so garbage.
It is. It is. It's insane.
And anyway,
But yeah, I know.
I got something I want to show you.
Show me, because we got lots of other things to talk about as far as what's going on in the world before we let these good people go to eat their dinner and have sex with their wives and husbands.
people got pissed off with this.
Okay.
This was ABC,
Mhm.
channel ABC, the ABC network. So they did their New Year's gimmick. I don't know if you've seen this. It's become kind of a well. Anyway, let me just play this out, and I'm gonna be very clear before I play this video. Again, I've said this multiple times. I have no problem with who you have sex with, who you make out with, who you fuck. I don't give a shit. But let's just play this.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens here. Excuse me. I don't mean to cough. I should put the cough button, but here we go. And of course, as I do that like a cocksucker,
Yeah.
I didn't put the volume up.
It's
So
okay.
put the volume
What
up.
happens?
Let me just refresh. And here we go. And of course, again, god damn it.
After the ball drop, I will narrate as if I were the director. Okay, the ball has dropped. Happy New Year, everyone. All right, I'm gonna need to cut to an interracial gay couple making out, and boom, perfect. Stay here. Do not cut this. I want to make this abundantly clear. I do not care that they are gay. I do not care that they are interracial. Neither of those things matter to me at all. What offends me is how on the
Obvious.
it is. Cliche, sign of the times, stock photo. Why does mainstream media have to be exactly how your drunk uncle describes them? Yeah, but the thing they're going to show after the ball drops is a gay interracial couple making out. And everyone in the family is like, dude, why do you have to say that? And then this happens, and your uncle is like, told you. And you're all like, oh my gosh. Have ingenuity. Is that too much to ask for? This was the scene on ABC.
Anyway.
Yeah, I agree. I remember somebody sending me a meme like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and it said RIP white couples in commercials.
Yes.
And I was
told
like,
my mother that the other day.
I laughed, but you know what? I have not seen white couples in commercials.
No, it's always a white
this was
dude.
somebody who worked in LA in Hollywood.
But check it out. It's always a white dude. Check it out. Think about it. It's always a white dude with either
With
a black
woman.
or an Asian woman or something.
Yep.
Not even Asian.
Yep.
No, it has to be dark.
No.
Hispanic,
No.
Latina.
And
Like
I'll
me.
tell you, when I look around, okay, and I live in a very integrated state, in a very integrated city, I still see Latinos with Latinos.
Of
I see
course.
Asians with Asians. I see
Yes.
black people with black people. I see white people with white people. And I see mixed race couples all the time. I see gay couples all the time. I see trans people with straight and gay people. Okay, this is fine. But you are literally pushing an agenda that all these other people don't exist. Only the small denomination, only mixed race and gay people exist and matter. That's it. Everybody else doesn't matter. They don't exist.
And I have, to be real with you guys, I have a couple of gay friends, and when I mean a couple, at least 10 that I know that are
Try
really.
being in entertainment.
Listen, man, there's this couple that I know pretty well, and they don't like this shit at all. And
Okay.
they're old school
They call
gay.
it.
They're
Yeah.
older. They're about my age, not yours, because you're in your 20s. But they're about my age, and they cannot
Yeah.
stand. So you know
They're
who bought
they're
it?
of the age where they took a beating if they were
Right.
walking down the street
So check
with
this out.
somebody of the same sex.
In the 90s,
beating
in
by
the
3
90s,
guys in a car that whoop
Yep.
their fucking ass within an inch of their life,
So
and they know what gay rights really are. It's not
The
just
f-
waving a fucking flag.
the funny thing is that
And
one
the
of
same
the
thing happened with interracial couples at that time too.
listen, one of the two members of the couple who I talk to more than the other,
Mhm.
he's the one that brought it up to me. This shit. He's like, Ray, it's fucking incredible. We went through some shit. I'm imitating him very well. So we went through some shit in the 90s, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
fucking throw this shit on TV like it's a fucking TV commercial trying to sell our asses. And he went on, and I'm like just sitting there like, what are you talking about? And he goes, just type in ABC New Year's Eve ball drop mixed couples fucking making out, and just like that. I was like, oh shit, okay. And I did. I was like, oh my God. And then this guy's TikTok pulled up, which was pretty cool. But yeah, a lot of people were pretty pissed off about it because, like he said, you got the drunk uncle. I bet you they
Mhm.
show a couple of boys making out, and they did
Yeah,
right on the nose.
of course.
Jesus,
Of
so
course.
fucking annoying. God damn
Of
it.
course. Of
God
course.
damn it. Anyway, what else you got? I got some stuff here too, but what else you
All
got?
right. A couple of things. Let's see what we got here that we'll rip through real fast. Introduce. Let's. I got notes. They're all over the place.
If you're lost, let me know. I got something.
I think we already mentioned that UK banned pit bulls, right?
No way. Why?
Yeah, on New Year's Eve, there was a pit bull ban in the UK. It's disgusting. And they literally put down every pit bull in that country, including Northern Ireland.
You're shitting me.
They killed
Like a
every
genocide?
pit bull. They did a genocide of the dogs.
Why
Unless
the
you
fuck
were
would you do
unless
that?
you were an owner who applied for a permit, a special license. They
Motherfuckers.
killed every pit bull in the UK on January 1st. Now, Scotland and Ireland proper opted out. Thank you, Scotland and Ireland.
Fucking
But
respect,
England,
Scotland, Ireland.
UK killed all their pit bulls.
Why?
It was unbelievable.
But why? What was the reason?
Their reasoning was that they were trying to prevent future attacks.
The fuck?
know-
So are they going to kill all the fucking sharks?
I-
All the tigers?
I think it sets a very dangerous precedent because
my
if
God,
you
that's
talk to
horrible.
any vet, the dog that actually bites the most and attacks the most is a Chihuahua. Typically,
Yes, they're
that
little
breed,
assholes.
right? But obviously, that breed can't do as much damage as a larger dog. And the dog that has the most bite, most psi, most pound, most pressure is a German Shepherd. So
Shepherds are badasses.
they're badass. But they killed all their pit bulls. And it is now against the laws for the ones that survive to be off leash, unmuzzled, bred, or given away.
So they're trying to eradicate the pit bull.
The entire, yeah. Mhm.
For those who haven't owned, I've had 5 pit bulls in my life.
Me too.
The last pit bull I had, his name was Conan. And you see this face? Do you think this face is the face of evil? No.
Yes.
No. My Conan,
And he's the smell of evil too.
he smells like, what does he smell like?
He smells like dog. Sorry to wake you up.
April, my Conan, and when he died of stomach cancer, and it still shakes me to this day. That's why we haven't gotten a dog. Oh God, I'm getting emotional. But he was my buddy. I had a Yankee jersey that would put over his back, and he would sit next to me, just looking at me and then looking at the TV, looking at me, looking at the TV. And he would stay the entire game with me. He would watch the game, and then he would he would sneak into my bedroom if I left the door cracked, and I would wake up in the morning. I don't know if this guy does it with you. I would wake up and he's laying next to me with his fucking dirty mouth right in my face, snoring. I'm like, Conan, move over. You know, he fucking crawl up to me. I miss my dogs. I miss Conan's. That one hurt. I had Candy. I had a Champ. I had a bunch of great dogs, but Conan was the last, and it's been since 2009. That was when Conan passed, and it was. Those dogs are man. My boss has one, baby
They're
girl.
amazing.
So sweet, so loving.
They're very misunderstood. They're very misunderstood. A lot of people don't understand they're very much lap dogs. And then, you know, there's some shitty owners.
You know, that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah. But there's that. Just letting you guys know what's going on in the world.
Real quick, Johnny Man says, I miss my pity dog. My bully pit. Excuse me. Oh, those are great dogs.
That's
those
what
stubby bastards.
Yeah.
And he says his name was Loverboy. He was snatched away from me. I still meant. Oh, I'm sorry. Man.
Sorry. So, and and I'm sorry to hear that. And some other news that you guys may not be hearing about. James O'Keefe exposed that 60% of the Act Blue donations have come from China. Act Blue are the donations for the Democrat Party.
Oh God! Okay.
Regarding Biden. So I would think that might be considered a conflict of interest, that China has donated and is donating to the Democratic Party, more than half of their donations. So that's a little bit strange.
It's not strange. Remember that how they were trying to misdirect us? It was all Russia, Trump, Russia, and it's China.
Yeah.
China.
Yeah.
Trump didn't like China. I don't like China. Right. I don't trust China. Build a wall. Yeah. They have a wall.
We call it the Wu flu, right? Okay. So something to pay attention to right now are the farmer protests. Now farmer protests have been going on for a while now. The climate hysteria that about 80% of it is bullshit, because the governments have invested in a certain rhetoric and narrative. 20%, yeah, there's some stuff going on, but and if you are an environmentalist, you know this. The deforestation is a huge problem, not just in places like the rainforest, but here in the United States, where if you look at a picture of a city that happened, look at a picture in a city 20 years ago, 25, 30 years ago, and then look at that picture now and see how many trees are no longer there. See how much deforestation is happening in the United States, and it's just concrete, and concrete is going to create heat. Look at the volcano, the Tonga volcano, and how it exploded a year and a half ago and blanketed us in 1.5 degrees more of heat. Look at the underwater volcanoes that are happening. Look at the sheer amount of military aircraft in the air, along with commercial aircraft at any given moment, and look at how much carbon that gives off. But no one's talking about that. They're talking about cow farts. All right. So
have you seen what happened in France?
And wait, tell me in a minute. Yes, I did.
Okay.
And again, they're going after our food supply, which totally makes sense. Go after the food supply. So, there's also weather modification. If you look up weather modification, there are over 150 contracts. Or there are over 150 countries that have contracts on weather modification. Nobody talks about any of this. Apparently, it's all human made with oil and gas and cows, and that's a lie. That is just a lie. Okay. So if you're an environmentalist, you're aware of what's real and what's not. And the climate alarmists are not real. The environmentalists are real. So what's happening is the government's trying to create new laws that go after farmers.
Yep.
And it's gotten really, really brutal. First, it was the Dutch farmers. And right now what's happening is the European farmers, and they are fighting back.
So
they're fighting back.
Can
Oh,
I
you
show
want to
them?
show it?
I want
And
to
the
show them.
The Australian farmers are as well. And I look forward to seeing, hopefully, the American farmers pull their balls out of their purse and do the same thing.
Yes. Well,
That would
I
be
will.
great.
Before I play this, I will say, "Viva la France,"
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. I've
Check
always
this
loved
out.
the spirit of the French people.
Check this out. This is awesome.
So if you're not aware, I'll narrate for you. That is shit. That is manure. They are spraying manure at their politicians' buildings.
Yeah.
So, and they're spraying shit at their politicians.
Yep.
So
it's awesome.
yeah.
So
If you're listening, it says up to 80 tractors have driven into the city and gathered outside the regional council. I missed the rest of that. But they are driving in mass to fight in the city. They are blocking roadways. They are dumping manure. They are blocking politicians in. And I think that's what it takes. And you have not seen an actual revolution happen in a while. And this needs to happen. It needs to happen across the board for all of us, not just with the farmers, but with everything they have tried to push on us. People need to understand that when those who are denying that rights are being taken because they're living in a really comfortable, entitled world, you're not going to wake up one day and just not have rights. It doesn't happen that way. It happens incrementally, an inch at a time. So the government is there to make laws that make sure that the rights are taken away from using the FDA, using the pharma industry, using all of these government entities that are in bed with the government. So yeah, you're going to be pushed to have more medical procedures you don't want, to lose your privacy, to have more surveillance going up, to lose the privacy on your phone, to have more tapping and your information sold, and to now the farmers are losing their ability to make a living. Does anybody remember that the entire all the mink were culled because of COVID? They killed entire mink populations in Europe. The entire populations of farmers that had been doing this for generation after generation after generation. They destroyed them and they destroyed all the animals. And then when I said this sets a bad precedent, they started doing it with other animals like cats and dogs.
check this out.
Well, with governments cracking down on farmers in their bid to reach net zero, we've seen protests in Australia, in the Netherlands, in America, but no one protests quite like French farmers. Check out these guys who protested outside government buildings, spraying those government buildings with manure to make their point. Caleb, I reckon that would convince MPs to listen to your grievances.
I mean, I've heard of people cracking the shits, but that is taking it to a new level. I suspect only in France would you get a protest like that.
But you've stunk everybody else out in the process as well.
They
So
did
what?
Indeed.
That is
love
the best news
it.
report. That is
I
the
love
best
it.
news.
I love it. I love
The
it.
shits. Oh yeah.
Leave it to the
hilarious.
Brits. There are two
Christ.
documentaries I want to leave you guys with that are worth taking a look at. And remember, moments turn into memories. Don't forget that. Whatever you do, moments turn into memories. So check out these two documentaries. If you are into learning more about the truth, look up on Twitter. It's called Out of Shadows. It is a very, very interesting documentary based
Twitter, you said?
yeah, I think you can find it. I think it's outofshadows.com as well, but I think it's called Out of the Shadows or Out of Shadows. It is freaking fascinating. It's going to take up about an hour and maybe 20 minutes of your life. I watched it in chunks as I was cooking and doing things. It is well worth it. It's about a Hollywood stuntman who saw a lot of stuff while he was there. And he does not believe in conspiracy theories. He doesn't have time for all that stuff. But some of the things he saw while working started to make him question a lot of the stuff that we take for granted. And he said, one of the openings is, if you have been told things your entire life, like C is for cat and G is for girl, and this is red and this is blue. If you've been fed a certain amount of information your whole life through media, how would you know? And that's not it. I think it's called, that's not the,
This is not Out of the Shadow?
no, Out of Shadows. Look that up. How would you know if
is
that
it this one?
information?
Hold on. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm just
How
trying
would
to
you
remember.
know if you're being told information that's not correct? How would you know if you're being fed information that isn't accurate?
It's not this one, right?
Don't
Out of the Shadows documentary.
I don't. Nope, that's not it either. You have to find it on Twitter, I think.
So it's Out
Wait.
of Shadows.
Yeah, I think it's Out of Shadows because there's so many of them with the same name.
Jesus Christ.
So his point is that while we watch what we eat and we watch what we drink and we watch what we do, we don't realize that the things, our diet of what we are consuming as on not just social media, but also through entertainment is kind of brainwashing us at times.
Is it
I
this
think
one?
that's it. That's the guy. Yep. He's the
Okay.
former stuntman. So this is really good, this documentary here.
It's on it's on YouTube and on Rumble as well.
Oh, I'm surprised it's on YouTube. There's
It's
a lot
on
of stuff
Rumble,
on there.
definitely though. I mean, I'm sorry, Rumble,
Yeah.
not YouTube. It's on Rumble. You can find
Oh,
it on
Rumble.
Rumble
Okay,
for free. Yeah.
okay, I'm not surprised. So he talks about a lot of programming and literally programming. So it's very interesting and it makes you think because some of the things we've been told that we've believed our entire life, how would we know if they're not true? If we all believe them? Because they've been told to us, right? So it really kind of makes you think, how much do we really, really know? I mean, how much do we know? So what do we actually know? So it's if you are like one of those really curious people who likes to think a little bit, this one's for you. And then there's another one that's fascinating. Now, it's called You Are What You Eat, a twin experiment. So this one I love. And I realize that this might be pushing a plant-based agenda, maybe, which I think everybody could eat more raw fruits and vegetables. And I'm a meat eater. I'm a carnivore. I'm a paleo. But I think something that people have to understand is you have to eat right for your blood type, which a lot of people don't touch on. I've been talking about that for a while. I've been writing about it for a while. Type O cannot eat the same way type A eats. Type A is meant to be a vegetarian. Type O is meant to be paleo. Then there's type B, type AB. People are not considering this.
Is this it?
Yeah. So not everybody can eat the same way. But this is based on an experiment from Stanford University where Stanford took like 22 sets of identical twins. And what they wanted to do originally, the diet, when you try this with people, because everybody's different, trying them on a meat-based versus plant-based diet, you're going to get varying results because people are different. But what if you took identical twins who are genetically identical with their DNA and put one of them on meat-based and one of them on plant-based to see how it goes? And they measure the diagnostics to them right down to everything. I mean, right down to their they measure their poo. They measure their ability to do high stress impact workouts. They measure their arousal. They hook them up to a whole thing to measure their arousal on different diets to see how the food is helping them and allowing their body to work in every possible way. So like, is this diet helping you maintain an erection better? Or is this diet kind of not, blocking you? So it's very, very interesting. And like I said, one type of diet doesn't work for everybody. And a lot of times they don't factor blood type into it. But so far it has been really interesting. So if you want to check it out, it's on Netflix. That is You Are What You Eat, a twin experiment.
I like that. That's
Yeah.
really cool. Well, we got about what, like 10 minutes left? Well, actually, it's 8:30 now. I mean, we can
I
wrap
can
up
mention.
now, or you
I
can
can
mention it
mention.
quickly.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, close the show.
Okay, and then one more thing that I don't know if you guys caught or not, but Canada had a Rebel News reporter arrested for just asking Deputy PM Chrystia Freeland about Iran and terrorism. He caught her outside and asked her. Basically, it was an accountability question, and rather than deal with him, they had him arrested. And then they tried to say that he assaulted the police officers, the Mounties,
Which I'm sure was bullshit.
Yeah, everything was on tape, and there was no assault there. If anything, they assaulted him because they handled him very roughly. So it's interesting that Canada has been going the way of pure communism as of late. And it seems that some of these officials that we're seeing in place, in my opinion, are not elected. They are selected and placed in place.
Sure.
And she comes from the Charles Schwab School of Business as well.
Charles Schwab.
So I think if you are a reporter and there's free speech, and you are a if you have every right to ask people who are your people in charge. You have every right to ask them what is going on with hard questions like terrorism and Iran and medical mandates and all these things, and they need to answer you because you are the constituent instead of having you arrested. This whole thing of having people arrested is not democracy. And the same people who think that we got to preserve democracy matters, this is democracy, while having reporters arrested, keeping reporters in jail who expose what's going on to rot indefinitely, or having their opponents arrested is completely ridiculous, regardless of what you think about some of these people or how you feel about some of these people. The bigger picture is this is not right. It is not democracy. And that is not how a democratic country works. That's how a communist country works, having people arrested when you don't agree with them. So it's a problem. And there's a reason that the First Amendment is the First Amendment. It was the very first thing that our forefathers wrote. It's not the 15th Amendment. It's not the 27th Amendment. It is the First Amendment because they felt that was the most important thing to establish in the United States. So I realized this was in Canada, but still we're dealing with a version of this too. Whatever happens in other countries eventually comes here. So this is something we need to be aware of. So there's that, you guys. Yeah. Ben Rob says, look, Canada gave up their handguns and this is what they get. So, yeah, Newsom. Newsom.
Oh,
Newsom is another one selected to be president. You can see it very, very clearly. They want him in. They want him in so badly, and that cannot happen. It cannot.
You don't
happen.
think so?
So he's offering. He is now saying that he will give all illegal aliens. He is willing to give them all free sex changes. So he can't take care of his own people or get the homeless off the streets, but he will give illegals a free sex change. So
I saw this. I guess I don't know if we can end with this, but I saw this positive quote. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on this. It popped up earlier for me during the week, and I figured maybe at the end of every show, either you or I can pull up one positive quote for the week. And I like this one a lot. I'm gonna pull it up here. It says, "There is always light. If only we're brave enough to see it. If only we're brave enough to be it."
I love it.
How do you
That's
feel
one
about
of the things I love it. And that's one of the things I always liked about the candle service at Christmas or New Year's, Christmas Eve. You have one candle in a darkened church, and that one candle lights every candle in the church. And within usually one or two songs, the whole church is lit up off of one flame. And I always thought that that's the point of that. All it takes is one person spreading the light, and it can light everybody up. Bravery is contagious.
Sure is.
It really is contagious.
So is the A show.
So is the A show. So thanks for sharing us. Thanks for being here. We love you. We saw lots of people in here tonight, and we appreciate that very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Arigato, arigato.
And, yeah. Domo arigato. And as Henri Matisse says, there are flowers everywhere for those who care to look. So look for those flowers. They're everywhere. So thank you for being here. We will be back live Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. You can watch our replays anywhere. It's awesome that you guys will share us. You can catch all our episodes on patreon.com, The A Show. You can catch me on Instagram, Real April Hunter or Patriot April Hunter. And you can catch Big Ray Hernandez literally everywhere using Big Ray Hernandez. Just look him up. He is everywhere. So we love you. Thank you for being here. Y'all are fun. Thank you for adding to our show tonight.
We love you. Did
Yes,
we mention
watch out
that?
for the aliens. Watch out for the aliens.
In the words of Cody Rhodes, we say, yeet. 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 Yeet.